know it should naturally happen anyway, but we want a standing ovation for this man, because without this guy, you know, being part of today, and you know, thank him so much for agreeing to do this, but without him, you know, this convention could not start off on the foot that it has, so yeah.
Okay, let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Dickie Anderson! And by the way, this really is Richard Anderson. This is not just a guy called Richard Anderson we found on Facebook, or picked up in the high street. This is the real deal. Thanks for coming, Rich.
You're welcome.
Can we one of many nicknames? Is that appropriate?
I think I have many nicknames.
Yeah, I think it's
Well, can I actually read some of the nicknames out, actually, yeah? So, I've got about 10 on the list, so just bear with me. And the loudest cheer means that that's the best nickname for Richard, alright? Dickie Anders. Dickers. Randers. Dicky Docky Doo. The Big Dick. The Dick Machine. Randerson. The Dickster. The Dickmeister General. I don't know who came up with this one. Anders Dick Fingers. And Anders me anal lube. And Tricky Dicky. So I believe you're the Dickmeister General.
Okay. Thanks so much, Rich, for coming. Everyone here really appreciates it. Look at everyone's faces. They're just grinning. Everyone's grinning at this moment. Can you just maybe explain to some of the people out there who might not know who you are, why you're here, why you're such a legend in the RSK universe?
Well, as you probably don't know, Ricky Stephen Carr had this little radio show on XFM. It's a tin pot little radio station in London. And to be frank, their radio show was a little bit shoddy, to say the least. So I thought what would be helpful if I occasionally emailed in and gave them some constructive criticism to show how potentially they could improve the show. Look at them now, I mean, clearly it's worked. They started off on a tin pot little radio show and now Hollywood and primetime BBC.
I think you've actually added to their success, Richard.
I think it's all
Another
down to
round of applause for Richard. Before we go on, Richard, what's your tipple? Your tipple.
Tipple, Foster's.
Yeah, what do you drink? What's your poison?
I have a Foster's.
Foster's, alright. I just want to ask that.
I've actually got some of the emails here that you sent me back in the day. I was going to read them out, but I think it might be quite nice if you read them out.
Yes. Do you reckon you should read them out?
There's only 3, and you've got to do all of them.
Okay, no problem.
None of this is rehearsed, by the way. We didn't turn up yesterday and then rehearse this. This is all off the cuff, like I said earlier on.
Okay.
Do you remember these?
I certainly remember the first one.
It was the first
This
one.
was the very first one. Ricky, your show is appalling. Are you actually aware you're on the radio, or has someone secretly just stuck a microphone on you? Okay, so the second one, dear Ricky, sorry for not tuning in. Dear Ricky, sorry for not tuning in recently. Only I've been watching a puddle evaporate. I can't believe I did this.
You regretting it now?
Very much so. Third, dear Ricky, the more disappointing your show becomes, the more I seem to look forward to it. Now I see your face plastered across London. Is your show some sort of curse put on me by an old gypsy woman I've heard?
Round of applause.
Well done. So, Well, Richard, were you actually being serious in regards to the email complaints that you sent in, or were they purely for comedy effect, or was it actually a bit of both?
It really was purely for comedy effect. It's one of the greatest radio shows I think this country has ever produced.
Sorry, a lot of people wanted to know this. Are you actually Paul the Party Animal Parker as well?
No, I'm not.
We'll get it next year.
Yeah, we'll try and get him next year.
So yeah, they often jokingly remarked about getting you on the show, didn't they? A few times. Did they ever reach out to you?
No.
Did you sort of secretly think, oh, I might be able to get you on one of their projects?
You know, I mean, one of the reasons it's very unlike me. I've never emailed into anything or tried to be on anything at all like that. But prior to emailing into the show, I'd just finished my degree at university, and a lot of it was focused on radio comedy. So I was listening to an awful lot of radio comedy at the time, and I did try and get a job with the BBC and other places at the time. It never turned out to be the case. So I don't know why they didn't want me. I mean, my constructive criticism works. They didn't want to know. So I just emailed into them one day, and it's one of my sort of big regrets that even just for one episode, to have gone into the studio and just watched them do the show would have been amazing.
Do you want to write a second series of The Office,
Did you send in any other emails to any other stations?
No, I've never.
Or was it just
purely this one? And I mean, my thinking was that I think that was when I started sending the emails, and I think it was sometime around the sort of the second series of The Office, and the radio show was, I mean, lovingly shoddy, and they just didn't seem to prepare for it at all. And I think
did that annoy you?
A bit like this convention.
No, I think that's the reason why I emailed in, it gave them a bit of material. I think they were desperate for material too. They clearly didn't prepare for it at all. So
you mentioned on the Digital House Minutes podcast, if you guys haven't listened to that, make sure you check them out, they're really great. But you told a story about how, did Carl email you?
Yeah, after the first episode, the first time I emailed in, I sent two emails that episode. One, it was a joke, just saying, does XFM have a customer complaints department? And I think he took it a bit seriously, so it was always intended as a joke, but I don't think he got it. So he did actually email me back, which is the only time I ever heard from anybody on the show. Just sort of saying, I'm trying to do something different, and it was like going to be a sort of fun radio show, and
was it a Carl who actually emailed you back?
It was a Carl, and it's one of my big regrets that I don't have a copy of that email. I remember printing off a copy, but no.
He was basically saying, can you stop emailing?
Yeah, and
I'm trying to do a serious job with it.
Yeah, and I didn't mean any offence whatsoever. And as I said, I thought it was just such an amazing radio show. It was meant to be a joke, but perhaps I should have sort of saved it for. I mean, not that I thought it was just going to be one email thing. I never thought I'd be sending more emails than that sort of first week.
Did you ever get to meet Ricky, Steve,
No,
or Carl?
never.
We'll make that happen as well. Definitely.
What time am I on?
We'll get the petition going today. I'm sure all of you will sign for that. It makes it will happen. So why did it come to an end? You know, did you sort of get bored, or did you stop just reading them out? What happened?
I think it had sort of come to a bit of a natural end. I think my is 20 years ago, and what I remember is that I think that it had a different series, that the series had come to an end or something, or that they'd taken a break, and I thought that was it. And in those days, there wasn't really an internet, sort of like the information you could get on the shows, and I think I started doing different things, and so I wasn't aware that it came back. So that's why I stopped, and I think it had perhaps. Yeah, looking back at it now, I mean, it would have been good to sort of like keep it up, but at the time I really thought that was it.
So when you first originally wrote those emails, were you team Ricky, Steve, or Carl, or was you just a fan of all three, or weren't you a fan at all? And now 20 years on, what's your, how do you feel now? Are you team Ricky, Steve, or Carl?
I think the magic of the show is you've got three really different people with three very different senses of humour, and the fact they were together on one radio show just made it absolutely sort of fantastic. I mean, I could listen to any of them and like enjoy listening to them, but when they're together, I mean, it's amazing. If you wanted to pick one, I think as a person, I'm probably like more like Steve. I'm not really like the other two, but in sort of character.
So you relate more to Steve than...
Yeah, but I mean, listening to, the stuff Carl comes out with is just beyond genius, it really is. And
Did you watch or listen to the podcasts?
It's only the XFM shows that I sort of listen to, and that, I think one of the reasons, it's just a massive regret on my part, that it's all stopped, and
It hasn't any one of this.
yeah, it hasn't stopped, but I'm never going to sleep there.
And now you will get recognised. Did you know that you've been animated?
Yes.
Have you seen
Yes,
it?
absolutely. I used the screen captured the animation and I used it as my avatar at work.
Has anybody else seen the animation?
It's a guy called Michael Layton used Carl Pilkington animations on YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah.
Really, he animates like 5-minute segments of the XFM shows in his own kind of animation style, but they're great.
It is absolutely amazing. Yeah. I mean, nobody I work with has any understanding or knowledge of this, so maybe one day somebody will realise it.
Nikki, are we going to Q&As now? Or?
Yeah, let's do some Q&A.
Has anyone got questions for the Dickmeister General? Right, I'm going to come out, I'm going to get amongst it. Right, ladies first. One second. I'll be like Russell Brand. What's your name? Where are you from?
Kieran, I'm from Rome.
What's your question?
So when you first listened to like the XCOM shows and started tuning in, and I know you've been on the D-Trout Spinners as well, like what was going through your head to be like, oh, you know what, I'm going to roast these guys while I'm doing a radio show?
I really don't know. I mean, my memory is obviously 20 years ago, and my memory is going, honestly, I have to get an awful lot, but I was certainly listening to the show a long time before I emailed in. I have a sort of definite memory of Ricky doing like the movie reviews, which is something they dropped pretty quickly. So, and then I went travelling for 6 months, so there's like a 6 months sort of chunk of the shows that I've missed, and then, as I said, I'd just done a sort of degree in media and like really focused on radio comedy, and at the time I was just looking out for any radio comedy, so, but why I emailed in, I still don't know, it's really not me, I'm quite a sort of like reserved, quiet person.
So how did like when you went on the D-Trout Spinners as well,
Yeah.
like, how did they approach you to get onto that, and like, what were they like? Because I'm so sad they're not here.
Yeah, it is very sad they're not here. No, I think they just contacted me through one of the Facebook groups or emailed me. And that was the first time I've ever talked about it. And that was sort of great to do. And it's sort of, so I quite enjoy writing, and I haven't done any writing for a long time, but that really sort of rekindled my interest in.
But he has written a very good children's book, which when the interview's finished, he's going to be out in the foyer. He'll have books there for sale. He'll sign them for you. He'll take a selfie with you if you buy one of his books. So please just buy one of his books. It's amazing. If you've got kids, buy it for your kids. If you've got nieces, nephews, buy it for them. Even if you haven't got kids, it's probably be a good read to put in the bathroom or something.
And then there's lots of pictures as well.
Lots of pictures. There you go. So you don't need to be able to read and write. You can just watch the pictures. Who else had a question? This guy, I see, yeah, he had his arm up first.
It's very serious.
Yeah, he looks very serious as well. What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Kenny from North Wales. First of all, if you did go into this radio station, I think Ricky would have died, because you do look like Carl and Steve's child. The question is, did you mention in the show that you thought should have?
Yeah, there were. I think there were a couple that didn't get on, and a few they kept over until the following week. So I think the one about taking the DVDs back to HMV, that was definitely left over from the previous week. And then I think it would have been the last ever email I sent that didn't get read out, and that's not the reason I stopped emailing into the show, but it was something about, I think Ricky was doing a stage show, and it was something connected to the stage show, but that one, and the one about the complaints department in the very first week, so I think there was 3 emails that didn't get read out.
Cool.
It's a pretty good hit rate, so.
Back to the question. Anybody else got a question? Let me just go over here, and then I'll be back over to this guy. What's your name? Where are you from?
Manchester.
Hey, what? Say that again?
Jamie from Manchester.
Homer Carl Pilkington. Well, it says Salford, so you might get stabbed if you say you're from Manchester when you're from Salford. So, go on. What's your question?
I was going to ask, if you could go out with one of the 3 of them, Ricky, Steve or Carl, who would you go out with and what would you do?
What, in a romantic sense, or just out for a drink?
Not judging.
It might lead to something.
If you could spend a day with one of them, what would you do and which one would you spend your day with?
Good question.
Well, as I said, I'd love to have spent a day in the radio studio with them. I'd have loved to I really enjoy writing, the sort of creative process of writing, and if I could spend any time while I was writing in the office, or just spent one Saturday just in the studio listening to the show, because I bet, whilst the show was brilliant, I bet the stuff when they were playing records and adverts was probably 10 times better than actually they were allowed to broadcast. So, as I say, I think sort of a sense of humour, really like Steve, but yeah, just sort of spend, if I could spend any time with them, listening to create comedy would be brilliant.
Next question. What's your name? Where are you from?
From Brighton.
I wanted to ask, at the time in those like early 2000s, whatever, how popular was it? Or did you know loads of other people who were also listening? Was it like would you hear about it at work or at uni or anything?
I'm not sure how I discovered the show.
Well, yes, and also like what actually was the listenership? Was it in triple figures? Or was it
I think it was just me, truthfully. I mean, I listened to, XFM was a very new radio station at the time. I think it started in like 96, 97, something like that. And I mean, the radio at that time was pretty dreadful in London, and I think I just stumbled on XFM. I started listening to XFM before I didn't seek out Ricky Gervais show. I just to XFM, and it happened to come on a Saturday afternoon. I have a distinct memory of being in my parents' loft and having the radio on and listening sort of to it. This was way before I sort of emailed in. So I think a lot of people did listen to it, and since I've sort of done the sort of podcasts and been on the Facebook groups, a lot of people sort of who I know, I was at school with, at university with, but I haven't kept in contact, have sort of come out of the woodwork and like. So I don't realise it was me. So.
Anyone else got any questions that they want to ask the Dickmeister General? I've got an arm up over here. Here we come. Maybe walk up, just came from there. What's your name? Where are you from?
Andy from Birmingham. I'm really asking the favourite moment from the show.
Sorry?
The favourite moment from the show.
If I can be a bit self-centred.
You can do whatever you want to do.
That. The moment when I sent the first email in, when Steve started reading it out, but he hadn't quite said my name, but somehow I knew it was they were going to read out my email. And at that moment, my God, they're going to do it, they're going to read out my email. I know it's very self-centred. Plus everything Carl says as well. So.
Did you have to pull over when you was in the car, just take a breather when they're reading out their initial email?
Well, I was actually in my bedroom at home, and just well, that's it. I did actually say, Mum, they're talking about me on the radio, and she just looked at me blankly and just went off and did something else, completely ignored me.
Any others?
Yeah.
Jonathan?
Oh, I'll go up here first. Who just got up their arm? Okay, nice and close. What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Morgan from Birmingham, and what was your favourite segment or game on the show when you listened to it?
Good question. Were you a fan of Rockbusters?
Everyone's a fan of Rockbusters.
Not ours.
I think any game Carl comes up with